What's up, my loves and fellow creatives? Hey, hey, hey. I've been working on this all day. um, Let me see if I have anyone live and if y'all can hear me before I get going on this one. All right, all right. What's up, Georgia, Yolanda, Sharon, Felicia, Platinum Ink? Awesome, awesome. I'm so glad y'all can hear me. I'm so glad I can talk. I've been quiet all day, pretty much pulling stuff together. So I decided instead of just designing something that you can sublimate to a jersey, I decided to also make it a faux jersey, meaning that if you were to place this on a t-shirt, it has a faux placket and buttons and stitches and all that good stuff. So without further ado, here it goes. Let me take a little sip of my drink, and it's just a little hot lime, key lime water. Nothing too crazy over here. What's up, E? Hey, Latrice. Hey, Dana. All right. So, what I'm going to do, I would really like your input because I didn't get a chance to get any photos or anything for this one. So, in order to do this template flip, I want you all to give me an inspiration, whether it be a theme, a birthday party, a school, a team, anything you can imagine. We're going to flip this thing and then I'm going to flip it right back. So it really doesn't matter, even if it's something like one of your favorite football teams or baseball teams or whatever. It doesn't have to be baseball related. The whole idea is that you can take something that may not be for a specific use and just use the style of it to make it your own. And I did not incorporate a photo on this one, but of course you all know that you can put photos on this. And if you want me to show you that, just go ahead and give me something that I can use a photo of. And I'm doing a quick little search here. But I'm hoping you all come up with something better than what I come up with. And let me see, maybe I'll use one of my cartoons and give away one of the cartoons in this one. I haven't done them in a very long time. Okay, so I think I found something y'all would like. And I'm sorry, these comments come in so slow, so I didn't see what y'all said. But let's see here. Christmas, yes, that's a good one. Let me see what I have for Christmas. All right, let me do, I think I have Tupac with a Christmas hat on. That would be cool. Let's see if I can find our initial image here. I think I just found it. So I'll give y'all that one that with this this image. So we'll do Christmas related. And let me see. I'll do this one, which says "Ain't nothing but a Christmas party," and I will. Basically, when you download this template, I'll probably just include this in there for free. So I'm going to go ahead and just drag and drop it on in here, just so that you know that it can be a part of the foreground, okay? So let me do Control T. Now we're not bringing an image into this one. I just like to be able to show you a difference of when you're bringing your images in. And let me go ahead and turn on our guidelines here because I am getting way too fancy here. Now you do have to keep in mind that this is either a faux jersey or you're sublimating this on a real jersey. So in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to use this image instead of the logo here. I'm going to use this image. And let's go ahead. I'm going to place the image below the placket or the faux jersey stuff, just so I can make sure if it happens to go behind it, then that's fine. But I definitely don't want it to be cut out. All right, so let's make this a Christmas design. Why not? Let's start off first. What I would like for you all to do, and this is what I'm starting to do, starting to create more content that is related to my branding. So as you can see, I basically set this template up as a Innate Designs, True Colors, Innate Lab, Innate Academy, whatever I brand myself as. I'm going to start creating the content for that, so that in hopes you can see that and go ahead and change out the logos for your logos, change out the colors for your color scheme, and you can start putting these things out there for yourself. And once you wear them out, I'm positive people will ask you for these type of products. So for that, all you would do is just double click on the logo and you would just switch that logo out. So I'm going to find a cute, maybe a Christmas ornament. Just Googling something real quick. Nothing I see is really jumping out at me. And then half of these PNGs that they tell us are PNGs online are not truly PNGs. So this is possibly a PNG, but not necessarily from the source. So I'm gonna, yeah, that's a link. You know what? Ever since this pandemic, the phishing and viruses and all of that have been extremely strong. So I'm going to go to one of my sources here, and let's just download the Christmas image. And honestly, I'm looking for something with some nice colors in it so I can pull the colors in. There we go, something like this I can work with. And this is actually going to download as a vector, but that's okay. Usually it would also give you a JPEG version, but it's going to look a little funky because the background's still going to be in there and whatever text they put in there is still there. So I download the vector version. I have Illustrator for that. We're not going to do all this in class, y'all. Y'all are literally going to replace my logo with your logo. So the only thing that you really need is your logo, or it could be a mascot. Let's say you're doing a school or something. It can absolutely be a school. And you see here, this is Illustrator on my screen now. I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of all of the elements that I don't need. I don't even need that fake shadow there. I'll tell you what. Let's just copy that. Let's bring it into Photoshop as our logo, and then we'll paste it as a smart object so that it keeps all of the vector properties. Oh, it's taking its time right now. Let me leave it alone. Edit, let's copy, and then let's paste. For some reason, it's not giving me the option to paste, and it might be because I'm burning up my resources trying to do the live and have Photoshop and Illustrator open at the same time. Let me see. There it goes. It was just taking a little time. See, I'm going to paste it as a smart object. That way it remains a vector image. And I'm most definitely going to take out these elements here that kind of make it glow. Control 0 so I can zoom in there. Illustrator is a whole nother beast when it comes to how it's able to show gradients and that sort of thing. So really and truly, I probably should just put the blend mode on that gets rid of these, but we'll go ahead and allow this to be our image here. And then what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and create. Let me close out Illustrator because it is definitely slowing things down with having both of these open. No, I don't need to save. I'm sorry, but I do have to get rid of these little white spots here. So this is a little more trouble than I expected out of this little Christmas theme. Guess I should have come prepared for Christmas theme. And maybe that's what we'll do either next week or the week after. Let's do something like intentionally Christmas theme. And Illustrator's just taking a little moment to open up. And what I may have to do for class night, because this is it's a simple class, but it's a large file, and some of you may need a little more time to open it up. So we're going to start class. I hate to do this. We'll start class at 8:30 instead of 8 because of the faux baseball jersey. The file is about 50% larger than I really want it to be. So it may take you some time to download it. I want to make sure y'all can download it. So that will be 8:30 instead of our normal 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then that way it'll give you enough time to download it. You won't be, feeling like you are pressed into class. And we can go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, so I see that. I'm gonna select same fill color and get rid of those. Same thing with these. I'm tired of them. Let's select the same fill color and get rid of all those. All right, now I'm going to save and update my smart object. It should update here. There we go. And now I don't have to put the drop shadow on at this phase. I can wait until I get it over into my baseball image there. So if I want to do an effect to the logo here, I absolutely can. I can actually copy and paste the layer style from here, even though that looks janky. So I'm going to clear that layer style and just put a drop shadow on here. There we go. That looks cool. So that's the beginning. Now let's go ahead and change up our color scheme here. Because of course we're not going with the CMYK. We're going to go with the colors that are here in the wreath. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and create my colors from the image here. And just like we did in, I think it was 150, we created 4 colors, saved those swatches, and then updated our smart colors. So let's do that same exact process. I'm going to choose red somewhere. And if I hold down my color picker here, I'll see the different variations of red that I'm touching. Double click on this swatch, and I'm going to add this to swatches. Now if I see this exclamation point, I'm going to click it and it will choose the next best red that is not a threat to my color gamut. So I'm going to add that to swatches. I'm going to call this red, or let's just call it 1. So we'll do 4 colors, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we'll do 1. And then we won't close out of this window because we can pick all of our colors at once. 2, let's say it's going to be my green. And I'm going to go with the dark green here. So we're going to add that to swatches and call that color 2. Color 3 might be my gold. So let's add that to the swatches. We'll call that 3. And color 4, I think I only have 4 colors here, so I'm going to keep that neutral, either black or white, because I like to have something that kind of grounds my design, unless it's just a really, really extreme design that I don't really care to have black or white in. All right, so I'm going to take my swatches now. This is what we'll do in class. I'm going to move my swatches over here where the properties are. And that's so that I can see the swatches that I created, 1, 2, and 3. They're right here at the end. So that way, when I go over to my layers, open up my swatches here, I'm going to double click on this first color. I'm going to duplicate that layer, and I'm going to double click on the swatch and change it to my color 1 that I selected. All right, so that changed everything that was the color 1. And then let's go on to color 2. Duplicate that layer. And the only reason why I'm duplicating it is so that I can delete it and go back to the original colors later. I'm doing my best to make this a smaller file for you all. So let's update that. That's color 2. And color 3. This also would be a really cool, Kwanzaa design, or think of just heritage in general. You have like your Pan-African flag, your Jamaican flags, your Puerto Rican flags. You can create a jersey based on that, and I guarantee you that will be something that folks will really want to see. I'm going to duplicate this layer and change that to the golden color. All right, so that's our color scheme already changed out. Let's go ahead and turn on the faux front. So here's the deal. If you are, and I'm going to turn this one off for just a moment, just so we can see how the faux 3D baseball jersey does. If you're printing this on a t-shirt, then you can turn on this faux layer. If you're printing this on a jersey, do not turn on this layer because it will not print like you expect it to print. If you really want to color block your jersey, you either want to do a cut and sew, or you're going to be doing a lot of, like I did with the jacket the other day, where I'm simulating a cut and sew by making sure that I cut my sublimation prints and trim them ever so perfect, and that is not an easy thing to do. Okay, so I just want y'all to be aware that it takes some time, some energy, and some effort there. Let me see, did I erase my placket there a little bit? All right, so what I want you to see here is that there are options for the buttons, for the stitches, and for the placket. And the placket is just this area here where the buttons are. So let's say I wanted to do yellow here instead. I can change out the yellow. I can let it be the black there. I think yellow looks pretty cool right there. Now that the placket is yellow, maybe I want my buttons to be black, so I can choose one of my smart colors. Now, and if you just want to make your own color, I'm sure y'all will have that question in class, you just make a separate color. So we can add a solid color here, and it could be something we have never selected before, and we're just making an impromptu color. The point of the smart colors is that it updates everything all together, so it makes it an easier process to change out the elements in a single, well, not single, but pretty quick manner. All right, so let's see here, what else do we have? That green is a little dark. I might go brightening up that green, so let me choose that brighter green. Maybe there. And let's go to the dark green. And I'm just going to switch it out for this kind of grass green here. Okay, that definitely makes it pop out more. And of course, this is all subjective. It's whatever you want it to be. All right, so the other thing we can do, so we have the placket, we have the stitches there. We can change out the colors of the piping as well. Let's say you wanted the piping to be green instead of red. There it is with the green. red. You probably wouldn't choose yellow because it's already yellow, but you do have that option too. And you can even go with the black. And in this case, I think I'm gonna choose the green there. All right. So that's it as far as for the overall design, because I wanted to keep it simple as far as design. I wanted it to have a large impact, and that's why it took so long to make this file. So this will be the front, and of course we'll be able to change out the text. So you're going to have a font you need to download. Let's go to, I'm going to click right on the team name here. And we're going to duplicate that layer, and let's name this one so maybe we're going to call this one Christmas and of 22, so maybe this will be commemorative of the year. And you see how Christmas doesn't fit on there, so I have to squish it to get on there. And if I want the tail, let me show you how we get the tail. You have to put the greater than or less than symbol there. Less than is shorter, greater than is longer. And then we're going to make certain that this all fits on here. If we cut anything off, it's going to show and it's going to look odd. So I'm making sure that nothing's hanging off here. Alright, so now it's Christmas, and instead of Innate, let's change the number. Let's double click that smart object, and we'll duplicate that so I can preserve my original number. And let's double click, change this number to 21. And I want you to notice what's going to happen. Because the number is a smart object, it's going to update here on the jersey. And then when I shut down my front and turn on the back, notice how the 21 also updated here. And for the back name, maybe I want to place an actual name here. It's the same process of changing the number and changing from the original name of the team name to Christmas. So it's the same exact process. All right, and I want you to know we have some elements going on in the background here. We have a little pinstripe here. And you can do the pinstripe even without the background. And I'm going to group this and call this the paint splashes. So let's turn that off. And I'm going to pull each of my smart colors all the way to the background. So if I want to do a simple version, I'm going to create this simpler version for you. So maybe you don't want the paint splashes, you just want a really simple pinstripe, neat, clean look. You know me, I have to be extra, so I'm offering a non-extra version. So as you can see, you can change the color of the background there and still see the pinstripes. And you can also change the color of the pinstripes. Let me go ahead and create a clipping mask so all of these will clip down to the pinstripe. And right now the pinstripe's only on 43% opacity because I didn't like how harsh it looked as a hard line. So you can turn that up and you can change the color of the pinstripes. Or you can not use the pinstripes at all. So you have quite a few options with this one. Like I said, this one is not necessarily the artwork that we're going to be spending so much time on. It's the concept and understanding what your limitations are going to be with doing some of the items that you want to do. Okay, so the reason why this is not complicated, the reason why I did not put someone's face in the middle of this shirt is because you're going to deal with some issues. And one of those issues is that if you're pressing this on a real jersey, again, of course, you would turn off the faux jersey element. Okay, now imagine pressing this on a jersey. You don't want anything important right here in the center because you're more than likely going to have issues with the layers that you're going to have there, the buttons that you'll have there, the hems and seams and everything in between. So you're going to have issues with your press having even pressure and being level. So you don't want to place anything important here. Keep everything that you really want important and maybe even make it smaller than I have if you want to preserve that. So that's why I've kind of made these logos pretty much just on the chest. Now, of course, you can go crazy and you can put a large image there. Let's go ahead and bring our image back. Okay, so let's say we're going to do our image instead of the logo here. And then let's take that same image and let's alt drag to make a copy of it. And let's say I'm going to go crazy and make a big version of this. I'm going to place this in the background layer, probably on top of everything, even the pinstripes. So maybe I'll turn this opacity down a little bit. And maybe use it as a watermarked element. Even still, as a watermarked element, don't put the face or anything right there in the middle. It's going to have a huge problem with those buttons and with the placket and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and turn on our placket again here. We can see that we can add elements. We can add images. And I'm pretty sure you all will be adding images to something like this. But at least gives you a baseline to start from and shows you where to keep it neat and clean. All right, so let's see. I think I was going to do one more change here for you all. Let me place the logo back. No, I'll do the photo one instead of a logo so we can see the difference. So let's go ahead and save this one and let's mock it up. That's what we need to do. So in order to mock it up, I'm going to turn off my swatches. I'm also going to turn this off. And let's do File, Save As. And I'll save this as a JPEG here. And then I'm also going to save the alternate version. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go back to our text here. Let's update that. And this will show you kind of in a reverse way how things were changed out. And let's bring our logo back. So like I say, all that you need for this one is your logo. Hopefully it's your logo. You can do anything that you want as far as a logo or an image. It can be a character that you want to do. I just want you to understand that this could be your logo, and this could be an opportunity for you to go ahead and put your logo out there. And for this one, I'm going to clear that layer style off of there. All right, let's turn back on our guidelines and make sure that we are within our dotted area here. We don't cut anything major off, and that looks good. Let's change our colors back to the original colors. And I'm just going into the Smart Object and just revealing the original color. So those of you who do the class and purchase the template, of course, you'll have that Christmas image in there as well if you want that. All right, and here I'm going to change my placket back to, I think I had it at pink. There it goes. And then my stitches. I'll do that in the cyan. And I think everything else is pretty much ready to print. I'm going to leave this yellow here, and let's take a look. Let's do the front and the back for this one. And let's go ahead and save as a JPEG here. That way this is actually ready to print when I save it as a JPEG. Then I'll also go ahead and do the back. So I'll take off the foreground, turn on the background. And I'm going to reduce the size of this back number a little bit so it's more realistic. And usually this isn't going to be wider than about 12 inches on the back. And I'm going to come down a little bit because I don't want the front placket to interfere with where the name is going to be. So usually the name will be a little bit lower if the front of your shirt is cut lower. And then I'm going to take the back name and the back number, and I'm going to go ahead and align it together. There we go. That looks like that's it. Let's go ahead and save as a JPEG. And if you all like the jersey theme stuff, I think I will do at least one more baseball jersey style. That of course can be used for a regular t-shirt as well. And we won't do the faux jersey on that one. It will just be either a regular t-shirt design, or it will be something that complements a actual button-down jersey. All right, so I think This is giving what it was supposed to give. Let me go ahead and save. All right, so that one is saved now. Let's go ahead and do the mock-up for this one. So we did a mega mock-up for 150, 151. So I need maybe 149 had a regular mock-up. There we go. So I'm just going to show this one mocked up on a regular t-shirt since it's a faux baseball jersey mock-up. And then the next one that we do, we'll do the actual, like a baseball jersey and mock it up. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Forgot to show you all with the layer mask, how we can incorporate that layer mask. Now here's something to think of as well. I'm going to go ahead and control select these active pixels, go ahead and add a layer mask to this background. Let's get rid of that layer now. So I want you to keep in mind, you can do jumbo prints and not necessarily have to cover something all over. So in this case, I'm going to take off the background and show the foreground right now. So as you can see, I can even do a faux regular t-shirt, and let me change the background color to white so it would be a little more accurate as to what it would look like. Let's go ahead and change that and you'll see. Okay, so if you can imagine this as pretty much a jumbo print, still kind of making that t-shirt look like a jersey. And I'm glad I changed this to white. So let me clean some things up so it looks a little more believable. Let me clean up this bottom hem down here, even though this is in the bleed area, just in case. I'm going to clean that up a little bit. Oops, I got my white as my foreground instead of my black. That way I'd rather that fade off of the edge. There we go. And I think that could still make a really cool image as far as for an oversized image on a shirt. Then you wouldn't have to worry about covering the sleeves. It probably would cost you about less than half of the paper or about half of the paper and ink that you would be doing if you were truly doing an all over. And if you choose white as a background color, it will save you more than half because you're no longer trying to print that harsh black color in the background. So maybe I'll show that as a mock-up too. Let me do one more thing here. This area here, I'm just going to fade it off a little. So that way if it happens to fall short of your shirt, it doesn't look crazy. And I'm going to bring this layer mask a little bit lower than the neckline here so that it doesn't pop out behind the shirt here. Alright, so that is ready for you. Let me link that back to the background. And you can, as you can see, if you change that image out, you would still get a really nice jumbo print. Now, I would not suggest putting this on here unless you're doing maybe like a toddler or a baby shirt as far as putting the faux baseball jersey on there. if you were just printing a 13 by 19. So let's take off the faux front, and that's what it would look like. And that would still be rather interesting if you're going to put an image there. But just know that if you're going to do the faux placket or the faux jersey elements, please make sure you print it large enough so that it makes sense. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close up some of these folders so they don't overwhelm you when you open up this file. And then I'll change this background color back to black. Oh, what I was going to do is I meant to open the mock-up for 149. Now what I'm going to do here is turn off the background, and then I'm going to export this as a PNG, so we'll get to see what that option looks like. So let's save as a PNG. And I think this is version number 4. All right, so let me bring my black back. And then we'll mock it up real quick here on these t-shirts. And it still looks pretty cool with the, let's disable that layer mask. Let's see if this were on a white shirt. It still looks pretty cool with the black background there. So have fun with that. Play with it. Do whatever makes you happy. Do whatever helps you sleep at night, feel good about yourself, and love what you do. Like, that's it. There are no rules. There are no standards here. It's just your imagination. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll take the images that we created here. And now I kind of like this one better. So let me file, save as. I'm going to save this as a PNG as well, and then we'll see which one looks better on the shirt. All right, so simple. We should be able to just go to the individual artwork here and just drag and drop. So we're going to drag and drop our images here. So we'll start with the original. There we go. And then of course we have to merge this down, or just flatten the image here. And I haven't mocked this up yet, so we may have to shift it a little bit, just like we would shift the shirt or the print, depending on what we wanted to print on it. So let's see how it happens. All right, now keep in mind that's the actual neckline there. So if I wanted to make it look like it was hanging off of the shirt, then I might do a little adjusting there. And it kind of looks like it has an undershirt over there, underneath there. All right. And then also keep in mind, this is a faux pinstripe and a faux jersey. So how the sleeves are, they're not necessarily going to print how a pinstripe jersey would look, because normally that's cut and sew, right? So usually the pinstripes will go the opposite way of the body. But for the most part, I don't think that's going to be anything anyone pays attention to. I just want you to understand that it's not exactly going to look cut and sew. It's going to look faux, okay? So let's choose the 13 by 19 version here. Now keep in mind we did make this a lot larger. And depending on whether you're truly going to print this 13 by 19 or you'll see it looks a little goofy as a 13 by 19. Let me show you that part at least. Let's go ahead and delete that layer. Now we can save this and update it. Okay, see how silly it looks as a 13 by 19? So you're going to have to do this as a jumbo print, and I would rather actually do that on this one since this is already sized for an all over. Let's just drag and drop the 13 by 19 version on there because it saved all of the outside area as well. Then we'll delete this one. All right, now let's play with the placement of this a little bit. So now we can see that, oh, okay, we can get a decent looking jersey out of a jumbo print, which might pretty much be two 13 by 19 prints. You can tile together. It might possibly be a little bit bigger, but you can imagine that you can still have a good looking shirt without having to print the entire shirt. So let's go ahead and go to this one now, and let's change that one out for the Christmas design here. And the reason why I'm deleting those other layers is because if it is a PNG or a JPEG, it's not going to let you save all those layers. So you want to go ahead and get rid of any layer that is below it so that it can appropriately save as a smart object. Oops, this one did have the neckline tied to the shirt, so it was not moving independently, so I just changed that. Now tomorrow what we'll do is we'll actually do a demonstration of this live on YouTube, actually pressing a t-shirt with this design. That way I can tell you how easy or not so easy it was to size this for the appropriate shirt to make it really appear to have the piping and the stitching and all that good stuff. Alright, so that is it. I'm going to go ahead and change out the text and everything here. So this is going to be, what, 52? And here, instead of modifying the blend modes, what we're doing here So we are modifying the, did I spell faux right? It looks funny. Let me look it up. Like my daddy would say, look it up. F-A-U-X. Yeah. And it is pronounced faux. I know I hear a lot of different people say fox or fa, or it's faux. So let's do, we're going to modify the faux jersey. Of course, we'll add the text. You get the mockup, and you can add your own image or logo. So for this one, just come with the logo. If you happen to do an image, that's fine too. Just one simple thing is what we're going to change out here. And of course, you'll change out your colors, and you'll be able to mock this up. So let's go ahead and change out the colors here. And you will get this template as well. All right, so the actual template file that we'll be working on in class will be the template, and then you will receive the mock-up template as a bonus, just so that once you're done with it, you have the ability to go ahead and place that as a mock-up or anything on your social media. I suppose I should show the back design here, because I didn't include a shirt to do the back design. Since I don't have a back shirt right now, let me just drop this here. And I'll kind of more or less drop it as the back design here. Alright, since we're past 150, I think it's time we switched up our little background here. I'm going to start using the dark background a little bit more. Alright. So I'll go ahead and save this for you all. I will upload this class. It will be virtually impossible to start class at 8 because most of you will still be downloading. So I'll go ahead and get that uploaded. We'll start class at 8:30. And hopefully you all have your logos ready to go, and we can go off of that color scheme, and I can see your logos in action. Alright, love, so I'm going to go ahead and head out so I can get this uploaded for you all. Join us tomorrow. Just check out your YouTube live notifications. Hopefully you're getting the notifications. If not, then go ahead and turn off the notifications and turn them back on, and hit the bell where it says all and not personalized. And hopefully you'll start seeing these notifications whenever we go live. So tomorrow we'll go live, and we'll actually press one of these up on the large format heat press, and we'll get some idea of how this is going to operate. I may also press one of these on a jersey, because I do have one. It is a New Era jersey. I received that one from Sanmar. So we'll try it out, see how it works. And I definitely won't be doing the faux placket, so it's not going to be color blocked in that area, so you'll see the difference, okay? All right, loves. Well, I'm going to preserve the rest of my little voice for class tonight. I appreciate y'all. I love you dearly. And until next time, bye.